Now we will discuss about the numerical problems on gravitational potential energy. The first one is a stone of weight 10 kg is lying on the top of a house 4 meter high. What is the amount of stored energy in the stone? So okay, here the gravitational force on the stone is 10 kgf. So here it is given that 1 kgf equals to 10 Newton. So 10 kgf will be equals to 10 into 10, that means 100 Newton. Now the vertical height of the stone from the ground level is 4 meter. So now we need to calculate the energy, that means the potential energy possessed by the stone. It will be equals to the product of force and the height. So here force is 100 Newton and height is 4 meter. So the overall energy will be 400 joule. Now the second question, a girl of mass 40 kg climbs upstairs by spending 800 joule of energy. How high does the girl climb up? Okay. So here the value of G is 10 meter per second square. Okay. Now it is given that the mass of the girl is 40 kg and the acceleration due to gravity, that means the value of G is 10 meter per second square. Okay. So the potential energy is also given, it is 800 joule. So we need to calculate the height. So we know that the PE, that means potential energy, is equals to mgh. So we need to now place the value of mg and potential energy in this equation. So the value of potential energy is 800 joule and mass is 40 kg and g means the acceleration due to gravity, that is 10 meter per second square, and we need to calculate the height. So height will be 800 by 40 into 10, that means 2 meter will be the height. Okay. Now kinetic energy. So we know that the bodies in motion are capable of doing work, right? So we can say that they possess energy. So this energy is called actually kinetic energy. So we can define kinetic energy as the energy possessed by a body due to its state of motion is called its kinetic energy. Okay. So we need to also know that more the speed of the body, more will be the kinetic energy of the body. Okay. We need to know that the kinetic energy possessed by a moving body is equals to the amount of work which the moving body can do before coming to rest. Okay. So now factors determining kinetic energy. So the kinetic energy depends upon the mass of the body. More the mass of the body, more will be its kinetic energy. And we also know that it also depends upon the speed of the moving body. If the speed of the moving body, more the speed of the moving body, then more will be its kinetic energy. Okay. We can say that kinetic energy is equals to half into mass of the body and speed square. Okay. So we can say that means kinetic energy is half into mass of the body into speed square. So if the mass of the body is m and the speed of the body is v, then we can say that the kinetic energy of the body is half mv square. Okay. Always remember it. It is very important. Okay. So now numerical problems on kinetic energy. So a bicycle rider along with his bicycle has a mass of 80 kg. If he is pedaling at constant speed 8 meter per second, what is the amount of energy possessed by this system? So here the mass of the bicycle and the rider is 80 kg. Okay, and the speed of the bicycle is 8 meter per second. So we need to calculate the kinetic energy. So kinetic energy will be half mv square. So half into m means 80 kg and v square means 8 whole square. So that means 8 square means 64. So half into 80 into 64. So that means 40 into 64. So that means almost equals to 2560 joule. So the second one is a machine gun bullet of mass m leaves the barrel at a speed of 100 meter per second, has a kinetic energy 1000 joule. What is the mass of the bullet? So we need to calculate here mass only. Here kinetic energy is 100,000 joule and speed of the bullet is 100 meter per second. So we need to apply the kinetic K equals to half mv square formula. So here kinetic energy is 1000 joule and half into, we need to calculate the v. So here m is 100. We need to calculate the mass of the body. So here v is 100. So 100 square. So half into m into 100 square will be equals to 1000. So m will be equals to 1000 into 2 by 100 into 100. So the overall mass will be 0.2 kg. Okay. So now examples of kinetic energy. A running train has kinetic energy, a speeding car has kinetic energy, is not it? That means the body which is in motion, they possess kinetic energy. So a running train has kinetic energy, a speeding car has kinetic energy. Okay. So moving hands of a clock has also kinetic energy, is not it? So a shooting arrow has kinetic energy. So a stone rolling down a hill has kinetic energy, right? An apple falling from a height also has kinetic energy, is not it? Okay. Now, interconversion of kinetic energy into potential energy. Okay. So if we consider the figure 4.10, then we will observe that this is a freely oscillating pendulum, is not it? That means if we suspend a brass bob from some support with the help of a strong cotton thread, then it will be a pendulum arrangement, right? So now if we pull the pendulum to position A, that means in this position, that means we have raised the pendulum, is not it? So here our muscular energy is stored in it in the form of potential energy, right? So if we now release the pendulum, then what we will observe? So we will observe that the pendulum will move from the position A to position B, is not it? That means when it will come from the position A to position B, then what will happen? Its speed goes on increasing, is not it? And height goes on decreasing from position A to position B. When it comes from position A to position B, is not it? Then its speed goes on increasing and height goes on decreasing. Thus we can say that the potential energy at A, that means position A, changes into kinetic energy, is not it? And when it reaches the position B, then all the potential energy changes into kinetic energy, right? And now when the pendulum moves from the position B to position C, what will happen? It now gains it again gains height, is not it? And when it goes from the position B to position C, then it slows down, right? So we can say that from position B to position C, its kinetic energy changes into potential energy, is not it? So at the position C, the pendulum will have maximum potential energy. That means the kinetic energy is converted into potential energy here, is not it? Again, during the reverse motion, that means when it will come from the position C to position B, then the potential energy changes into kinetic energy. Again, when it will go from the position B to position A, then the kinetic energy will convert into potential energy, right? So we can say that the kinetic energy and potential energy are interconvertible, right? Okay. So now law of conservation of energy. So according to this law, we can say that the sum total of energy in a system is a constant quantity. It can neither be created nor destroyed. However, energy can change from one form to another form. So here we can say that the kinetic energy is converted into potential energy, and potential energy is converted into kinetic energy again, is not it? Here the potential energy is converted into kinetic energy, and kinetic energy is converted into potential energy again. So we can say that the energy can change from one form to another form, right? But the total amount of energy in a system is always constant, okay, and it can neither be created nor destroyed. So this is actually the law of conservation of energy, okay.